And so the fact that they are doing this to try to hide information, the one thing I learned, Martha, is whenever you do something and someone immediately has a knee-jerk reaction to hide things, it's because they're guilty. And I very much so look forward to helping Representative Jordan as well as the other members of House Judiciary in covering this.
Team Jim Jordan is none too pleased now that the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, has sued the Republican congressman from Iowa. But why do you think Bragg also sued his former special assistant DA? Let's talk about it. Welcome into TYT Overruled. I'm your legal analyst, Adrienne Lawrence. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has taken the bold step of filing suit against Congressman Jim Jordan regarding his attempts to interfere with the investigation and now prosecution of former President Donald Trump. The lawsuit, which was filed in New York federal court on Tuesday, alleges this. Beginning on March 20th, 2023, Representative Jim Jordan, chairman of the House Committee on the Judiciary, began a transparent campaign to intimidate and attack District Attorney Bragg, making demands for confidential documents and testimony from the district attorney himself, as well as his current and former employees and officials. 2 days after Mr. Trump was arraigned on 34 felony counts in New York State Supreme Court, Chairman Jordan and the committee served a subpoena on Mark Pomerantz, a former special assistant district attorney who participated in an investigation of Mr. Trump and his businesses. By and large, the Manhattan DA argues that Jordan was out of pocket in violating the state sovereignty of the state of New York by trying to interrupt Bragg's grand jury investigation of Trump. Congress has no power to supervise state criminal prosecutions, nor does Congress have the power to serve subpoenas for the personal aggrandizement of the investigators or to punish those investigated, citing to a 2020 U.S. Supreme Court case. Yet that is precisely what Chairman Jordan is trying to do. He and his allies have stated they want the district attorney to come to Capitol Hill to explain himself and to provide a good argument to Congress in support of his decision to investigate and prosecute Mr. Trump. And they have threatened that the House of Representatives will hold Alvin Bragg to account for indicting Mr. Trump. Now, Chairman Jordan has subpoenaed one of the district attorney's former special assistants to interrogate him about his official prosecutorial activities. But subpoenaing a former line prosecutor to talk about an ongoing criminal prosecution and investigation is no less of an affront to state sovereignty than subpoenaing the district attorney himself. Perhaps Jim Jordan skipped that whole state sovereignty thing in law school. But Bragg shouldn't have to really go to a federal court to enjoin Jordan, even though he does. And Jordan is just really going to try to meddle even more, particularly as it concerns subpoenaing people to testify about Bragg's investigation. And that's why, in addition to suing Jordan in his capacity as the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee and also suing the House Committee itself, well, Bragg also sued his former assistant DA who worked on the investigation of Trump and who Jordan has subpoenaed to testify in a closed-door deposition. This per the New York Times. Mr. Pomerantz is also named as a defendant in the suit, though that appears to be a formality. By naming him, Mr. Bragg's lawyers are seeking to block Mr. Pomerantz from testifying if he were legally compelled to do so. Mr. Pomerantz has shown no indication that he is willing to testify voluntarily. He declined to comment on Tuesday. If you recall, Pomerantz wrote in a book released earlier this year that he disagreed with Bragg's initial decision not to pursue charges against Trump in light of his criming. So, to that end, Bragg doesn't want him to testify or Jordan to subpoena anyone else. That's why Bragg's lawsuit asked the court to determine that the House Committee's subpoena exceeds Congress's constitutional authority and that Jordan is violating grand jury secrecy. This suit today happens to buy Bragg a little bit of time before Pomerantz would possibly be compelled to actually testify before that House Judiciary Committee. While this is indeed drama, it's exactly what the GOP ordered. Jim Jordan was completely and totally out of pocket for trying to publicly muscle the Manhattan DA out of prosecuting Donald Trump. And a federal court should not have to release the ultimate decision that is in Bragg's favor, which we know is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, Jordan's just out here wasting taxpayer funds just so he can get a well-written reminder on how state sovereignty and the U.S. Constitution work. You let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like and follow button, and thanks for watching.